In this video, we'll see how you can use Möbius to create algorithmically generated questions that can be automatically graded, which can help a student practice as much as they can without an instructor having to spend a lot of time on creating these questions. Students cover 5 to 6 topics a day. A typical lecture lasting 40 to 50 minutes on a completely new topic for a student does not provide him or her sufficient time to grasp the intricacies of the topic, which is very important for STEM-based courses. For most of the topics covered inside a classroom, students are advised to go home and practice these topics themselves. This practice would need to take place outside the classroom as instructors don't have enough time to allow for students to practice and also complete their syllabus on time. This is why we see textbooks have plenty of examples and exercises that students can go through themselves, and their doubts can be covered by the instructors in tutorials or even inside the classroom. For students to be able to retain what they learn for longer, it is advisable that they practice on the same day. This is where the challenge arises. It becomes extremely difficult for instructors to ensure that the students are practicing outside the classroom, and they can't allot enough time inside the classroom for practice either. An ideal solution for instructors would be a place that allows students to not just practice questions that they would want students to practice, but also grade and give students valuable insights into where they went wrong. There are a lot of solutions that will allow you to create questions, even create them automatically, but it always falls on the instructor to create as many questions as they want for a student to practice. This would mean that an instructor has to spend a lot of time on just creating questions. This is where Möbius can help. Möbius can help you create randomized questions where a student will be able to practice with different values each time. This would mean the instructor does not need to spend time creating multiple types of the similar question. The same time can be spent on lesson planning, creating better quality resources for students, or just more face-to-face time in the form of tutorials. Let's take a look at how Möbius can help you accomplish this. I will create a randomized questions and show you how a student will be able to practice the same thing as many times as he or she wants. For the purpose of this video, I will take a very basic question type. What is the derivative of 3x to the power 7? This is a question that an instructor might ask a student if they've just covered differentiation inside the classroom. Students can try out this example here and get an instant feedback on whether they are correct or not. But if they would really want a student to practice, they would need to create multiple questions like this one. So instead of having to do that manually, Möbius can help you randomize these values 3 and 7. Let's see how we can do that. First, we edit the question. At the top, you see the algorithm tab. You click on it, and on the algorithm tab at the bottom, you click on show designer. This will help you create randomized variables without having to write a single line of code. So I need to randomize two variables, the coefficient and the power. I define a variable a, which I can choose to be a whole number or an integer, etc. And I want this between 2 and 8. Let's say I want this to be even, so I'll keep this in steps of 2. I click on add, and you see the value has been added. Now I need to randomize the power. Let's say this is b between 4 and 7 in the steps of 1. Click on add. Now I can simply go back to the question and change values of 3 and 7 with $a and $b, the name of my variables. Now when that is done, I've already randomized the question statement. But we also need to fix the answer. The answer here will always be of the form a star b into x to the power b minus 1. So I can either write this as the answer directly here, or I can create two more variables. I can create $a1, which is equal to $a into $b. And I can create $a2, which is equal to $b minus 1. And use these variables to create the answer as $a1, x to the power $b2. Now that we've created the randomized question, let's see how a student will answer this. So I'll save the question and a question will pop up for a student. So this is one copy of a question that a student sees. He tries it out enters the solution, clicks on how did I do, and he sees it's correct. Now they can click on try another, and you notice the values have changed. You can try out the problem again, and they can do this as many times as they would want, and they'll still be graded automatically. Now this can be very effective for students because they can practice questions, but also for instructors because the students are now practicing questions exactly like they would want, and also they don't have to create out of them. Now we again consider a very simple example, but same feature can be applied anywhere really. So let's take a look at a few more examples. So this is an example that's taught to mechanical engineering students. I have displayed the solution in front of me because I do not want to calculate it myself. But definitely when this goes to a student, the solution will not be visible. Here also you'll see when I click on try another, the two radii are changing, which in turn will change the center distance and pitch length. Again, I will not try it out here, but you get the picture. Numbers are not the only thing that you're restricted to. You can also randomize images. This is a question asking to classify a critical point based upon the face portrait. Try another here will change the image altogether. Not just the image, it will also alter the solution accordingly. Now there will be questions where you would want to have students give more complicated answers, where you would need to have controlled or conditional randomization. A very simple example to explain this would be finding the roots of a cubic polynomial. If I completely randomize the coefficients, I may get very complicated complex roots, which would vary the difficulty level in between of the question. And that is something that I do not want. I would like to ensure that the solutions are always integers. And that is something that Möbius can allow me to do. So I click on how did I do? I can see that these solutions are integers. And I can try it out again. And you'll notice that each time I'm always getting integers as the solutions. The same sort of thing can be done for any sort of topic, depends upon what it is that you're looking for. This allowing you to enter some sort of control even what the randomization needs to be. We've talked about randomizing numbers and images, but you can also randomize text. In this case, chemical compounds. Clicking on try another here will not just change values, but even change the salt. And not just the salt, but even the molecular mass used to solve the question will change according to the salt. When I click on how did I do, you'll also notice that the solution that the student gets, the feedback, is also adaptable based upon whatever salt I get. Let's click on try another, and I'll see magnesium sulfate, and that's the salt that I can actually see here. This is how you can leverage the powerful math engine inside Möbius to create randomized questions for students to practice. When you put these randomized questions in assessments, different students will see different copies of the same question. So this can act as a very strong tool to prevent cheating in assessments. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified about more videos like this one. And don't forget to hit that like button.